I have a story to tell you about Shopify inventory. Is this the best inventory tool or what? Let's have a conversation about that. So here's an overview I want you to have right now. So when somebody tells you about Shopify interview, you just have to think about a tool that is great for limited inventory. And you got to be within a Shopify's ecosystem. In other words, if you're selling on, let's say you're selling on Ecwid, you're selling on Wix, you're selling on GoDaddy Commerce, you're selling on any other platform, you're not going to really enjoy the tools, the capabilities here, because Shopify has made it so that you can only use it with your own system. Okay. So it is great for limited inventory. And the thing is that Shopify's built-in inventory features are therefore decent, but unlikely to offer everything that a real e-commerce business needs. I'm talking about a fully fledged e-commerce business. So basically, it syncs very smoothly with your Shopify store. That's true. It starts from $29 a month. In other words, you have to get the Shopify plan, and then it is included in that plan. But in terms of functionality, nothing really impressive. I'm telling you, you get very basic functionality, and on top of that, you have limited sales channel compatibility. So really, it's not really something that is really impressive, okay? But hey, boss, welcome back to the show. I appreciate having you here. I appreciate having this sort of quick journey with you into the wonderful world of Shopify inventory, okay? So when we talk about Shopify inventory, we're talking about an ancillary tool. That's a Shopify POS. That's the point of sale. So you have to really have this capability also. But the thing is that when you think about Shopify inventory as a standalone capability, it doesn't offer all the features, all the whistles and bells that come with a third-party inventory management software tool. Plus, all the best features are only available with the Shopify POS plan, which costs at least as much as a separate inventory management software. So really, nothing really impressive here. So bottom line here is, a long story short, if you're sitting there, you're just wondering, is this for me? Blah, 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 blah. Just remember one thing. Shopify inventory management is best for small Shopify stores. I want you to really think about that. Small. It has to be small, and it has to be a Shopify store, because it's not really a fully fledged independent inventory system. Consequently, it focuses on optimizing your inventory management specifically for your Shopify store. That's it. Once you get out of the Shopify ecosystem, you're not going to appreciate it all. You might as well just go with Ordoro or Inflow or Sin7 or any other inventory management software. Okay. Let's talk about the pros and cons here, boss. So before you actually make a decision to go with Shopify inventory, you got to have a clear idea about whether or not this tool is for you. Because otherwise, you might as well just throw money out of the window. Okay, let's talk about the pros and cons here. So the pros, it syncs very smoothly with your Shopify store. So if you have a Shopify store right now, it doesn't matter the plan. If you have let's say you have the basic plan, the Shopify plan, or the premium plan, or the whatever plan you have, it will sync properly with this Shopify inventory. Not a problem. And so what I want to say here is that the biggest perk of Shopify's inventory features is the fact that the platform seamlessly syncs with your online store. So let's say if you use a third-party inventory management system, your inventory platform will sync with your Shopify store via integrations, which may break down and result in mistakes on your store. So Shopify inventory management is really built into your store. So you'll have no such problem because it is embedded. It is inherent. It is really plugged in. It is baked in your Shopify store. So if you're already a Shopify store, the other advantage is that many of Shopify's inventory management features are already built into your plan. So if you are on a budget, let's say you're on a budget right now, and Shopify inventory management offers everything you need, you can save a lot of cash, boss, by skipping a subscription to a third-party inventory software. Boss, let me quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about Shopify inventory. So this is an in-depth review. I'm trying to really do a review that will give you the breadth and depth of analysis, so that you know when you make a decision that you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. So let's talk about, so that's for the pros, right? So let's talk about the cons. So Shopify inventory, what are the cons? Well, basically, it is a relatively basic tool compared to other options on the market. I'm not even going to talk to you about Ordoro or all those biggies like Sin7 no. Just remember that it's really basic. You can track inventory. You can track like inventory that's coming in and going out. You can transfer inventory between locations. And on some plans, you can conduct ABC inventory analysis to determine your high priority items. But you cannot manage dropshipping orders. I mean, no way, Jose. You cannot track customer fulfillment. You cannot set up customized B2B portals or many of the other features available on other platforms. So what are you doing here? Are you just wasting your time or what? I mean, you have a business to run. So why should you go with Shopify where you have other players offering you something better? Boss, answer that question. So this is why we think that you got to be in Shopify ecosystem. Otherwise, you might as well just ditch this software, Shopify inventory, and go for something else. Okay, so basically, and one thing we also, another beef that we have with the Shopify inventory is that it is limited in terms of its multi-channel selling capabilities. First of all, Shopify supports sales on just a few channels. Can you imagine that? In this day and age, Shopify is only supporting Facebook, Instagram, Walmart Marketplace, eBay, and Amazon, only 5. So you're talking about a constellation of stores, a constellation of channels, a constellation of marketplaces. Shopify is not there. Well, you know what? It's their right though, because they're a biggie. I mean, Shopify is a behemoth, so they've earned the right to actually skip on certain things. But I'm just saying, like, if you are thinking in terms of you want to sell and sell. You want to have a tool that gives you a lot of capabilities. And right now, Shopify doesn't give you that. Okay, Shopify does not give you that. So, this is something you need to think about, and something that is not really helping you. And another thing I want to say here is that Shopify, so if you want to list products on Etsy, Magento, Rakuten, or any other marketplace, you are out of luck. Let's talk about pricing here. So pricing, I want to say real quick that basically you have the basic Shopify, the Shopify plan, and the advanced Shopify. So basic Shopify, $29. You have location up to 4. So you have inventory features such as stock level tracking, inventory transfers. You can assign inventory to locations. This is really good. You have the Shopify plan, which will cost you about $79 to $85, up to 5 locations. You have all the basic Shopify features, and then you have ABC inventory analysis. And then you have the advanced Shopify, which will cost you about $300, $350 a month. And here you have up to 8 locations, and then you have all the Shopify features. So the bottom line is what? If you want to get the best inventory management that Shopify has to offer, you will need something called Stocky. Oh yeah, you need Stocky. So Stocky is Shopify's upgraded inventory management platform. Unfortunately, Stocky is only available if you sign up for a Shopify POS Pro plan. So that's a point of sale Pro plan, which is what? It will cost you $89 per month. In addition to your regular Shopify plan or Shopify Plus plan, prices will be available upon request. So the thing here is that with Stocky, you could do a lot of things. So you can manage vendors and suppliers. You can enjoy forecasting. You can enjoy demand forecasting. You can complete stock takes and stock transfers. You can get upgraded reporting. There's still a lot of fewer features than you would get with a third-party software tool, especially considering the cost of a Shopify POS Pro plan, plus a Shopify plan will easily cost you as much as, if not more than inflow inventory, for example, and a host of other options. So my point here is what? If you want to go with Shopify inventory, as long as if you have a basic inventory management need, stick with it. If you want something more advanced, you need to have the Stocky app. But if you have the Stocky app, then you are inviting more price increases in your operation. So you got to be able to justify that, right? Because otherwise it doesn't make sense. I mean, who wants to pay extra? You just paying extra, but you're not getting the revenue. So you might as well just the revenue must be there to justify you actually taking on extra costs. Really, that's just the bottom line here. Let's talk about the features. So when you think about Shopify inventory, there are some features that you need to really pay attention to. Okay, and what we talk about, and the thing is that you have the standard Shopify plans. So first, you can track and transfer your inventory, whether it's been transferred from your supplier between your warehouses or outbound to your buyers. Doesn't really matter. You can do the basic inventory tasks tracking and transferring. That's what we call tra-tra. Transfer and tracking, okay? So once the transfer is complete, it automatically adds or deducts the appropriate number of items in your stock count for each of your locations. Okay, that's fine, okay? So what happened after that? Well, you can manually update inventory counts on an item by item basis. So basically, here we're going back to arithmetic 101, right? Granularity. You go 101. You take one here, you add one there. See, the trick is with all these features though, is that you have to activate inventory tracking on each of your items individually. Can you believe that? I mean, if you have a store with multiple items, you have to do this individually. I mean, it's not a big deal, but hey, think about it. In this day and age, you have to do things individually. I mean, who has time for that? So that's one thing. Second, you get an item by item inventory history, which basically allows you to see all inventory adjustments, the dates that they were executed, the person who made the adjustment quantity, and the stock total after the adjustment went into effect. Okay, that's not bad so far. Okay. Unfortunately, this history covers only the past 90 days, much shorter than similar features from other providers. I mean, we've seen a lot of providers inflow inventory, for example, that gives you 6 months, and there are other players like Ordoro can go all the way to 1 year, and Shopify is stopping only at 3 months. Can you imagine that? No way, Jose. So if you upgrade to a Shopify plan or higher though, you can also enjoy ABC inventory analysis. So this feature examines your Shopify store's sales and your inventory costs to determine which items make up the bulk of your revenue. So that's fine. Now we're talking. So this helps you prioritize your biggest money-making products so you don't make costly errors focusing on items that don't impact your bottom line. Because the thing is, we want to focus on revenue. That's what we care about. Now, the trick with all those features though, is that you have to activate inventory tracking on every single of your items individually. Otherwise, Shopify will not track stock numbers, facilitate transfers, keep tabs on the item's history, or include the item in its ABC analysis. So activating tracking on each item doesn't take a ton of time, but it's still an extra step, one that's easy to miss and can impact your business significantly. Okay, so boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're talking about Shopify inventory, and I'm giving you an in-depth review here. Now let's talk about Stocky by Shopify, because this is an important element. So if you do get a Shopify POS Pro plan, you get a lot more inventory management features. I guess that was a goal. Like Shopify wanted users to get the Shopify POS subscription. So when you have that, you get a lot more inventory. Like you get so much. So for instance, Stocky lets you better manage your vendors and suppliers. You can set multiple suppliers for each product and list each supplier's price for that item. Pretty handy when you think about it, right? If you want to list a backup supplier to make your supply chain more resilient to breakdowns, that's the best strategy here. And the cool thing is you can also see your prices in any currency, and you can order by pack size instead of just by individual units. So bottom line here is what, boss? You have autonomy, you have centrality of purpose, you have operational capability, you have operational productivity. So you are making more revenue. You are generating ka-ching. The money's coming in. So Stocky also offers demand forecasting using sales data from your Shopify store. So with this feature, what happens here? So Shopify will basically provide quantity recommendations whenever you place a new purchase order. So that's kind of cool. And the cool thing is you can even customize your forecasting results by setting date range, the right date range. So you want the forecast to take into account. That means what? That means you can get the best possible quantity recommendations based on your most recent sales data or your sales data from this time last year. So when you start doing analysis like this quarter versus last quarter, this month versus last month, this month versus the last month last year. So when you start doing this sort of a historical comparative analysis, this is really great because it helps in revenue generation. And Stocky delivers advanced reporting, including the following reports. So you have low stock reports, you have product reports, you have SKU variance reports, you have stock on hand reports, you have purchase order reports, you have stock adjustment reports, you have stock transfer reports, you have store profit reports. So you do have, boy, you have a constellation of reports. This is really great. I mean, this is really great. The question is, can you not get this through the regular Shopify plan? No, you got to have the Shopify POS plan. That was the deal. That's another revenue generation goal for Shopify, by the way. So this is why. So is Stocky really worth it? Yes. while Sacky's features are certainly an upgrade from Shopify's run-of-the-mill inventory management offerings, it still doesn't hold a candle to most third-party competitors. However, if you just want to be within the Shopify, let's say Shopify ecosystem, it's just a leg upward. Definitely, definitely. I want to talk to you about the integrations here, boss. Let's have a quick convo about integrations, shall we? So when we talk about Shopify integrations, Shopify, as you know, they even have an app marketplace. So they offer hundreds of plugins you can pair with your Shopify store. And these integrations can help you improve your store in any of the following areas. So you have customer support, check. Finances, check. Finding products, check. Marketing, check. Orders and shipping, check. Places to sell, check. Productivity, you name it. Reporting, you have it. Sales and conversion, you have it. Trust and security, you have it. So see, you can see here that you have a long list. You have a long list, a catalog of features, of capabilities, of plugins and add-ons and what have you. But hey, see, the thing is, with that comes money. You have to spend. You can even sync up your Shopify store to a third-party inventory platform, but you have to pay extra. Is that the deal? Is that what you want? You want it in the first place? If that's what you want, that's fine. Let's talk about the rivals here. So when we talk about Shopify inventory, and this is not a tool that is just sitting there by itself. That tool is surrounded by a lot of rivals here, and so we want to see how Shopify inventory stacks up against other players in the industry. So when you think about Shopify inventory, the players that you want to think about here are, you have Ardoro, you have Zoho inventory, you have Sin7, you have Upserve, you have Inflow inventory. Wow, all of those are biggies. They are really biggies. And for example, when you take Ardoro, and there are biggies in terms of functionalities, there are biggies in terms of capabilities, but there are also biggies in terms of the money they're charging you. It makes sense. If they're giving you all that value, you better pay for it, right? Nothing is free, boss. Nothing is free. Nothing is free. Nothing is free. So when we talk about, for example, Ardoro is coming up at the $500 a month. That's the starting price. You have barcode and QR labels. Fantastic. This functionality is there. E-commerce is also there. Okay. And this is a web-based application. For Zoho inventory, Zoho starts at $0. This is wonderful. And in terms of barcode and QR labels, fantastic. This is great. And what about e-commerce? Fantastic. And Zoho is really an online web-based application with mobile apps for iOS and Android. What about Sin7? Sin7 is really clocking at $400 starting price. And it has QR code and e-commerce integration, yes. And you have the ability to have a cloud-based service working with Mac, PC, and iPad. What about Upserve? Upserve is kind of cool too. It's around $200. That's the starting price plus $50 for POS terminal. It doesn't have barcode and QR labels. Okay, this is the only player in this list that doesn't have that. And it does have e-commerce capabilities, yes. And in terms of the platforms and operating system, it runs on, it's an online web-based application with mobile apps for iOS and Android. So this is kind of cool. And the last one, one of our favorites here, is the Inflow inventory, which actually comes in at around $89 a month. And so it has barcode and QR labels. It has e-commerce functionality. This is really fantastic. And it is available for Windows and online with mobile apps for iPhone and Android. So the bottom line here is what? All of these prices that I just gave you, those prices are available with annual billing. So you have to actually make an annual billing to actually take advantage of the discount. But hey, you can see here that Shopify inventory is not the only player, and you have behemoths in this industry that have more sophisticated features. So what is the verdict here? Boss, you have listened to me. You know my opinion already. Okay, you know our opinion, because our team has done a lot of research, and we know that basically. So, if you ask me, is Shopify inventory worth it? I would say yes, with a caveat. Let me qualify what I just said. So, if I say yes, what's the caveat? You got to have a basic Shopify store. If you have a basic Shopify store and your inventory management needs are basic, then you're fine. Once you start thinking about something convoluted, something a little complex, then you need to exit the Shopify ecosystem, because otherwise you're not getting anything. You're just getting like something, but Is it something like, is your store worth something, or your store is worth something bigger, like something with capital S? Okay, so the bottom line here is that Shopify's inventory management features can get the job done if you have basic needs and are on a tight budget. So if cash is tight, if you are actually going through some budgetary hurdles right now, then yeah, go with Shopify inventory. However, inventory is not Shopify's number one focus. So the platform's built-in inventory tools are basic and often unwieldy. Okay, so what's more, you have to get a Shopify POS Pro plan just to enjoy Shopify's most advanced features. Can you imagine that? And those features, they still come in short when you think about what you can get for the same price on another platform. Let me give you an example. Have you looked at inflow inventory? We're having an inflow inventory review pretty soon, so I just would suggest you watch that show to really understand what we're talking about here. So overall, we think most e-commerce businesses can get a better and often cheaper inventory management system elsewhere. But if you are a Shopify store owner with limited inventory needs, Shopify inventory management can also be a great way to cut unnecessary expenses, right? So this is what it is. So yeah, so bottom line, yes, go with the Shopify inventory if you meet those conditions. And the thing is, if you don't need a Shopify POS, then you don't definitely need to go with it. I mean, the bottom line here is that you have to choose the inventory software tool that actually fits your bill, that fits your operational goals, that really fits what you want to achieve, and that really gets the job done for you. Remember, I said for you. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just quickly talking to you about Shopify inventory. So I gave you the overview, the pros and cons, the pricing, the features, the integrations, the rivals, and the verdict. Thank you. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.